Hello and welcome to this edition of FYI Weekly, your official source for City of Greensboro news and information. The Greensboro City Council approved two major funding requests from the Water Resources Department to address the Townsend Water Treatment Plant and a sewer rehab project. Council members approved two requests totaling more than $48 million. This will allow construction to continue on Phase 2 of the Townsend Electrical Improvements Project. An additional $9.6 million was also approved for a sanitary sewer rehabilitation project contracted with Cajun Construction and Rehabilitation Services. In other City Council news, a contract with Yates Construction Company for nearly $15 million was approved to complete Phase 4 of the Downtown Greenway. This project is supplemented by state and federal funding. The work in this phase includes roughly 5,200 feet of greenway from Spring Garden Street to Hill Street. Crews will implement roadway improvements at greenway crossings. An agreement with North Carolina DOT was also reached to increase federal funding to cover 80% of actual construction contract costs. The public is encouraged to join the Greensboro Fire Department for this year's recognition of Fire Prevention Week from October 9th to the 13th. The festivities take place at the Greensboro Science Center from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. This year's Fire Prevention Week campaign is Cooking Safety Starts With You. Pay attention to fire prevention. The goal is to educate residents about simple but meaningful actions you can take to stay safe when cooking. Activities include an interactive skit with Sparky, fire truck tours with firefighters, and goodie bags for the kids. The Greensboro Science Center has graciously offered a discount to those who stop by and participate in the fire safety education. Reserve your spot in the Fire Prevention Week interactive show. Sparky the Fire Dog will be part of each show. Each show has a limit of 40 participants. The show times are 10:30 a.m., 11:30 a.m., 1:30 p.m., and 2:30 p.m. Don't miss this opportunity to interact with Sparky the Fire Dog. The Greensboro Science Center is located at 4301 Lawndale Drive. The fall leaf season is in full effect and the loose leaf collection program is underway with two collection windows. Leaves placed by the curb by November 6th will be picked up by December 22nd. If you miss that window, leaves placed at the curb by January 2nd will be picked up by February 2nd. Residents should follow these guidelines for a successful collection experience. Rake the leaves to the edge of your yard, beyond the curb, not in the street. Be sure to remove sticks, rocks, and other debris that may damage city equipment. Do not park vehicles on, in front of, or near the pile of leaves. Follow the collection trucks by checking the interactive map to see where your neighborhood falls on the leaf collection schedule. You can dispose of leaves year-round simply by putting them at the curb in a plastic or metal garbage can. Crews will collect the leaves on your regular trash collection day. The leaf collection schedule may change due to inclement weather. Please note the city does not collect leaves, loose leaves rather, on private streets. For more information, call the Contact Center at 336-373-2489. Cone Health has partnered with the city to share a series of brief and informative videos designed to inspire you to make better choices when it comes to healthy living. Following these tips is an easy way to help each of us improve our quality of life. Let's take a moment to check out today's news for your health.
Each year, it is estimated that over 250,000 women in the United States will be diagnosed with breast cancer. So what can you do to lower your risk? While there are many risk factors we cannot change when it comes to getting breast cancer, there are things we can do to lower our risk. Today, I'm going to go through 7 things we can do to lower our risk. Number 1, exercise. It's not uncommon for patients to say, well, I clean my house or I garden, and that really doesn't get it. And what I mean by that is studies have shown that physical activity that really counts is about 30 to 60 minutes of fairly vigorous activity at least 5 to 6 days per week. Limit alcohol intake and don't smoke. When we talk about smoking and its relationship to breast cancer, we know that several things are very important. Number one, people that abstain from smoking clearly have a lower risk of breast cancer. Number two, people that start smoking at an earlier age and smoke a longer time have a higher risk of breast cancer versus, of course, the person that abstains. When it comes to alcohol intake, studies have shown that as little as 3 to 6 drinks a week can increase your risk of breast cancer. That's unfortunate because, a lot of people think, well, wine's healthy, I'm going to drink a glass of wine a night. But that really does have a negative impact upon a woman and her breast cancer risk. Control your weight. Unfortunately, the heavier we become, our breast cancer risk increases. And this pertains to women as we go through the change of life, so through the perimenopausal and postmenopausal periods. So after menopause, the heavier we become, the higher our breast cancer risk becomes. And so the lesson to be learned from that is to try to maintain our body weights. Give your body the nutrients it needs. Initially, some of the studies early on looking at diets high in fruit and vegetables were controversial. But then in 2010, doctors went and looked at a whole bunch of studies, and they actually found that women that did eat diets high in fruit and vegetables do have a lower risk of breast cancer, which makes sense. So what's the lesson to be learned there is eat a healthy, well-balanced diet and lower your risk of breast cancer. Avoid or limit hormone replacement therapy. So evidence has definitely shown that hormone replacement therapy is linked to breast cancer and the development of breast cancer. If people are going to choose to use hormone replacement therapy after menopause, we tell women to limit the duration of time because there is a direct correlation between how long you use it and your incidence of breast cancer. So the woman who uses it and stays on it longer, the likelihood of her getting breast cancer drastically increases. Know your family history. Most breast cancers are not part of the hereditary breast or ovarian syndromes, like we hear about on TV nowadays, the BRCA syndromes. But knowing your history is really important because maybe you are somebody that needs to be referred for testing. Either way, however, a family history does raise your risk of breast cancer. Get screened. Number one, women should do monthly self-breast exams. We see patients who find, unfortunately, breast cancer on their own. Second, make sure you have a clinical breast exam by your doctor once a year. And then third, screening mammography. Screening mammography has been proven to reduce death from breast cancer. We tell women to start at age 40. Women seem to think there's a magic number when to stop. We tell women age 74 or 75, if you're still very healthy, 74 or 75-year-old, then by all indications today, those women need to continue with screening mammography. Thanks for joining me. I hope this information has been helpful. To learn more about cancer care at Cone Health Cancer Center, go to conehealth.com/cancer. I'm Dr. Shannon Penland.
The City of Greensboro is hosting a summit for youth in the trans community, and the Human Rights Commission is calling all civil rights champions in Greensboro. We'll have those stories and more news coming up after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to FYI Weekly. The City of Greensboro's Transgender Task Force will host a Trans Youth Summit on Saturday, October 14th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. This free event welcomes families, caregivers, and youth to connect with each other and learn about supportive resources available in the community. The task force hosted a similar event in 2022, featuring remarks from city leaders and representatives of various triad organizations. The mission and vision of the Transgender Task Force are to provide public education on transgender issues and to improve the quality of life for transgender residents in Greensboro. With the support and direction of the Human Rights Department, the task force is charged with examining rules, policies, and procedures that create discriminatory barriers for those who identify as transgender. For more information about the Transgender Task Force, visit the city's website or contact Commission's Administrator Liz Lennon at 336-373-2038. The Human Rights Commission is accepting nominations for the 2024 class of Everyday Champions of Civil Rights. The Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial Breakfast Committee will select 5 honorees for recognition at the 38th Annual Breakfast on January 15th at the Corey Convention Center. This year's theme is Inspired to Dream. The public is invited to nominate individuals or organizations who have made substantial contributions to further Dr. King's vision or to champion civil rights, civil liberties, and/or human rights in Greensboro. Nominees should have demonstrated a level of dedication or achievement beyond what they may be expected in the normal course of the nominee's work. Nominations are due by November 13th. All ages and occupations are eligible. Posthumous nominations will also be accepted. The Everyday Champions Award was established in 2023. The inaugural class of honorees includes Melvin Skip Alston, T. Diane Bellamy Small, Joyce Gorham Worsley, James Shields, and the late Reverend Dr. T. Anthony Spearman. For more information, visit the city's website or contact Jody Stanley at 336-373-2038. If you're looking for a charitable cause that will bring tidings of joy, the Greensboro Mayor's Committee for Persons with Disabilities is accepting community donations. This will make it possible to host the 38th Annual Shoppers Day event on Thursday, December 7th at Four Seasons Town Center. This one-of-a-kind free event benefits 700 residents who have moderate to severe disabilities. Every $10 donation supports one shopper. This holiday extravaganza, managed by more than 400 community volunteers, is an opportunity to learn, identify, and break down barriers about disabilities in a heartwarming way. The event includes musical performances, refreshments, a gift wrapping station, and an opportunity to meet Santa Claus. All donations provide funds for participants to purchase presents for their friends and family. For more information about the committee, visit the city's website. Community engagement around a literary piece is generated by the public collectively deciding which book they will read. Coming up after the break, find out which title rose to the top and how you can participate in One City, One Book. Stay with us. Welcome back to FYI Weekly. It's a democratic process for book lovers of all ages, and this opportunity for the community to select a book takes place every other year. Joining me now to tell us about the One City, One Book is Beth Sheffield. She is the manager of major programming and book clubs at Greensboro Public Library. Hello, Beth. Welcome back.
Thank you, Carla.
Always good to see you. Tell me, how did the Carolina table get selected as this year's One City, One Book read?
So we take recommendations from the public, and we take that over a 2-year period. And then we sit down and we have a selection committee that narrows the selections down. And then we have an advisory committee that looks at about 8 to 10 of the over 50 titles that we received this year to be under consideration. And we're so excited that we picked the Carolina Table edited by the late Randall Keenan, because it is a book about food and community and connections and sharing stories about food and community and family. So we were really excited to narrow the choice down, but to pick something that will really resonate with the entire community.
Okay, and this particular series of food is grounded and rooted in North Carolina?
Yes, yes. So Carolina Table is written by 31 essays by 31 North Carolina writers.
Wow.
And from all over the state.
Okay. So speaking of which, you have 4 chefs who are coming to Greensboro on October 19th. Tell us about that event, and will any of them be featured in the book?
Yes, yes. So we have 2 authors that are featured from the Carolina table, Nancy McDermott and Fran McCullough. Nancy McDermott is a cookbook author, a James Beard Award winner, and also writes about Thai cooking and Asian cooking. Fran McCullough has written books on low-carb cooking. She has been an editor for years, both as with cookbooks and other books. They're phenomenal North Carolina writers. We're also featuring another North Carolina writer, Sandra Gutierrez, who wrote a book called Latinissimo.
Oh,
yes.
Sounds exciting.
Yeah, it is a brand new cookbook just out this month that features 21 regional cooking in 21 Latin American countries.
Wow, that'll be very diverse and offer some great recipes, I'm sure.
Yes. And then Carla Hall, who has been to Greensboro before, who was a top chef and also on the Food Network. Right now she is doing the Halloween cooking cook-off shows as a judge. But she will be here as well. And it will be a conversation style about food, about family traditions, and their books will be for sale. We'll have a little music starting at 6 o'clock. People can come to Piedmont Hall at the Coliseum.
Okay.
And then the program starts at 7, and it's just a wonderful way to celebrate One City, One Book.
Okay, you had me at food, so I'll be there. Now, aside from this event on October 19th, if folks aren't able to make that, or if they do make that and they want to just participate in other things uplifting One City, One Book, are there other opportunities?
Absolutely. We have book discussions, we have children's programming, we have programming, 30 to 40 programs all every month that can go to www.greensborolibrary.org to see the full listing of programming. I will mention that we've decided this book is so popular, and GTCC also picked it as their all-campus read, that we decided to extend One City, One Book into 2024.
Nice.
So
that's the first time you're doing that?
Yes, yeah. We've occasionally had a program like in January, and book discussions January, February, but this is the first time we are extending it through 2024. And January 27th, Jill McCorkle will be in town for our Author Day. She is featured in the book. We also have a special program on March 7th of 2024 with Dr. Jessica B. Harris. She's featured in the Netflix series High on the Hog, and also wrote the book of the same title.
Okay, well that's a lot. So those are examples of how the community can get involved. They can go to the website, but I'm sure some folks want to get their hands on the book.
Yes.
How can they get a copy, and is there an electronic version?
Yes, yes. There's an electronic version as well as copies at all library branches. You know, we really want the entire community to read our One City, One Book choice and attend a discussion. There are discussions at every library branch. There are also community discussions, and we have sets of books that the community can check out as a book club set and take to their community of faith or to another organization and have a discussion. And we even have facilitators and facilitator training available as well.
Okay, well, I'm sure you are poised for another successful One City, One Book, especially with all of the activities that you have centered around it. We do know that you have other programs throughout the year, so do come back and let us know what else is going on so we can keep people connected to the Greensboro Public Library.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Beth. Stay tuned for some interesting and useful information about Greensboro as we tell you something about the city. That's coming up after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to FYI Weekly. One way to stay informed about decisions that impact you and our city is by attending or tuning in to City Council meetings at 5:30 p.m. on the first and third Tuesday of the month. The fourth Tuesday is reserved for a meeting as needed. The City Council has resumed meeting in the Katie Dorsett Council Chamber on Level 2 of the Melvin Municipal Office Building located at 300 West Washington Street. The public is allowed in person, but only in a limited capacity. Those who choose not to be in the building can participate virtually. The Greensboro City Council meetings are broadcast right here on GTN. The meetings are also streamed live on the city's website and on Roku. To review the council meeting schedule and agendas, please visit the city's website. Here's an opportunity to learn a little something about the city. The city of Greensboro has been awarded more than $4 million from the Outdoor Recreation Legacy Program grant to make improvements at NOCO Park. The improvements are critical for the $75 million Windsor-Chavis NOCO Community Complex, which will integrate the existing Windsor Recreation Center, Vance Chavis Library, and NOCO Park. The overall project remains in the design development phase and is considered as a transformational project for the community at large. The federal funding is supplemented by the $50 million bond passed by voters in 2022, $8 million in federal pandemic relief money, and $15 million from Guilford County. Congresswoman Kathy Manning said historic NOCO Park in East Greensboro has long served as a pillar of the community. I was proud to advocate for funding so this can continue to be a community gathering place where people can congregate, stay active, and express themselves. Earlier this year, Congresswoman Manning sent a letter of support to the North Carolina Division of Parks and Recreation Outdoor Recreation Legacy. Coming up after the break, we'll showcase our department spotlight, but first, prepare to mark your calendars for the places to go and things to do on the town.
I'm Dave, and here are some of the special events happening this weekend on the town. Acclaimed storyteller Cynthia Moore Brown spins spooky tales at the historic Blandwood Mansion on October 13th and 20th. Seating is on the lawn, so bring chairs or a blanket. Tickets cost $5 per person and must be bought beforehand at preservationgreensboro.org. Children under 5 are free. See country music star Cody Johnson live in concert at the Greensboro Coliseum on October 14th. The Texas native worked as a bull rider and a prison supervisor before pursuing his passion for country music. Lauren, Elena, and Jake Worthington will also perform. Tickets start at $41. Get yours at the box office or online at greensborocoliseum.com. American Idol winner Ruben Studdard pays tribute to the legendary Luther Vandross October 14th in a concert presented by the Greensboro Symphony Orchestra. Studdard is a Grammy Award nominee who has released 6 studio albums, including his platinum-selling debut, Soulful. Tickets start at $35 and are available at the box office or online at tangercenter.com. Celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month and One City, One Book with author Paul Quadros October 15th. Quadros will discuss his memories of Peruvian cuisine, the importance of Latinx food service workers, and his book, A Home on the Field, How One Championship Soccer Team Inspires Hope for the Revival of Small-Town America. Visit the city's website at greensborolibrary.org for more information on this free event. The Greensboro Guilford Crime Stoppers Unit hosts its 4th annual online auction October 16th through the 26th. Proceeds from this Facebook event benefit the Crime Stoppers Anonymous Tip Reward Fund. Visit ggcrimestoppers.com for details, including links to the auction site. Stay tuned to FYI Weekly for more happenings on the town.
Welcome back. The City of Greensboro has more than 20 departments and several divisions committed to serving you, our residents and visitors. Let's go behind the scenes in our department spotlight. The Greensboro Department of Transportation, or GDOT, has published its fiscal year 2022-23 annual report. It's available to read online. The report highlights the department's key projects, grants the department was awarded, and safety data. The report also showcases various plans such as the downtown parking study and the transportation project funding priorities. The GDOT annual report also showcases the bicycle, highway, roadway, and sidewalk projects currently underway or completed in the last year. To review this and all other annual reports, visit the city's website. Straight ahead on the other side of the break is this week's Way to Go GSO shout out. Stay with us. As we draw to a close, we always want to end on a positive note with our Way to Go GSO shout out. This week's shout out goes to the city of Greensboro. The city manager's office hosted the iGen Kickback and Connect event for young professionals. This free networking opportunity brought together local high school and college students, allowing them to engage a panel of their peers about being movers and shakers in Greensboro. The event was also designed for the youth to let city leaders know how Greensboro can be more attractive to the 18 to 24-year-old population. The group enjoyed live music, food, drinks, games, and professional headshots taken by Rondell Lane Media. That concludes this edition of FYI Weekly, but you can easily stay connected to the latest city news by linking to us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. Alexa users can subscribe to our 5-minute flash briefings, which airs on 90.1 FM and 100.7 FM. Be sure to download both weekly podcasts, Talk City Greensboro and Connect GSO, plus GTN is streaming on Roku. For all of us here at the City of Greensboro, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.